Oh wow, they look really, really good. Look at that. Wow, look, gosh, it smells good. I'll tell you that. Do you tell a definite difference in taste?
No, I can't.
I'm telling myself I can.
All right, folks, we got a really cool video for you today. We're doing a comparison today between grass-fed and grain-fed chuck roast. We're gonna put them both on the exact same kettle, so they're cooked at the exact same temperature, of course. And we'll also put the exact same seasoning on there. Then at the end, we'll have a group of participants do a taste test for us and tell us what they think of the texture, the taste, the whole 9 yards, and we'll learn all we want to know about differences between grass-fed and grain-fed. And then at the same time, we're going to be using a new device today. I'm excited about this. I've not even got it out of the box yet. We're going to be using the Webcraft Ring from Spider Grills. It fits right on top of our kettle. I can't wait to try it out. Let's see all we can do with it. So what we'll do first, we'll get our chuck roast out of the packaging, get them seasoned up, put back in the fridge for a short dry brine while we put the Webcraft Ring onto our kettle. Let's go. So let's get the chuck roast out of the packaging and get them seasoned up. The first one we're gonna look at is the chuck roast from Sam's. Now this is a choice grade chuck roast. This just over 3 pounds. It's Angus beef. Pretty good looking chuck roast. The price per pound is $7.98 for a total charge of $26.73. Now it's funny, you hear a lot of people refer to chuck roast as poor man's brisket. And the only reason why that is, in case you don't know, is because the overall cost is much less expensive. Of course, the overall weight is a lot less as well. This price was $7.98 a pound. A brisket's gonna run you, as choice grade, about $6 a pound, which is a little high right now, considering the beef prices are high overall. But you're getting less weight with the chuck roast, so you're gonna pay a lot less for it overall. Brisket's gonna cost you more because you're getting a lot more meat. So the other one we're doing today is the grass-fed, grass-finished option from Medina Farms, a place out of Florida. I'll leave a link to their website in my description below. This is a very nice looking chuck roast. It's just under 3 pounds. Total cost of it was about 40 bucks. So the price per pound is greater. You're gonna pay a premium typically for grass-fed over grain-fed. So let's get them both out of the packaging, take a look at them, get them seasoned up. So as we get started here on the seasoning, let me tell you what I'm gonna use. I'm using Gulf Coast Smoke That Base. I'll put a picture of the bottle up on the screen here for you. But I love this stuff, guys. I have no affiliation with these guys. They're super cool folks, but I don't have an affiliation with them. I just love this rub. It's really, really good salt, pepper, garlic for something like this, where I wanna have consistency with both. It's a perfect rub for that. So let's tear this chuck roast open. And this is the one from Sam's. It's a pretty good looking chuck roast. Not bad at all. Like I said, just over 3 pounds. It's got some good marbling in there. So we'll get this one seasoned up here. Put a pretty good coat on here because this is the only seasoning I'm using, and this is a pretty thick piece of meat. Packed in. I could use a binder, but it feels pretty wet, so I don't think I'm going to. I'm not much on binders ever anyway, so. And we'll get the sides all the way around. And this is a very strong seasoning that I really, really like, but you can't over season it to a certain degree. You don't want to go crazy with it, but you can use plenty of it on here. All right, that's all that one takes, guys. That's done. 100% done with that seasoning of that chuck roast. Now we'll get the other one open. See what we think of that. One thing that's nice about chuck roast is that not a lot of trim work. That's pretty nice. Not much to do with them. Let's take a look at that. I've not seen this yet. Let's take a look. A little different shape, but man, I'll tell you what, it's a good looking chuck roast. We're gonna do the exact same seasoning with it. We're gonna put them both back in the fridge, let them dry brine for just a little while we put the Webcraft Ring onto the kettle. So let's go ahead and get this one seasoned up. Same exact thing. I'm gonna use a pretty good amount of seasoning. All right, folks, so here's our 2 different chuck roasts. Here's the grain-fed one, and here's the grass-fed one. Now I'll put these back in the fridge for about an hour while we put this device onto our kettle. All right, y'all, as we get started unboxing this thing and putting it onto our kettle, I do want to let you know I have an affiliation with Spider Grills. They're a company who makes a lot of different devices for the Weber Kettle. They also make their own grill called the Huntsman. I'll put links to those in the upper hand corner of your screen. It'll show you the Spider Grills Huntsman, how it works and what its premise is. The Spider Grills Venom and how to use it for temperature control. Watch those videos when you get through with this one so you learn more about this company if you're not familiar with it. Now this is the Webcraft. I'll put it up where you can see the side of it there. And I've not got it out of the box yet. Just know that it's an accessory that can go on here and add a lot of function to this thing. So we'll get it out here and look and see what we think. It feels pretty heavy. I may have to pause the video so you don't see how weak I am trying to get out of this box. A handle for sure, we need that. It's like Christmas, man. Spider Grills is known to package their stuff very, very well. I will tell you that. Now, we're gonna try to get this ring out of here. I'm afraid it's gonna be pretty heavy. So I may have to stop, pause, and come back to you. Let's see if I got it out of here. I may have to get help. There we go, guys. All right, folks, I'm gonna try to walk around and show you what I've done. It was just kind of hard to do by myself, filming and doing this at the same time. So I'll walk around here and show you what I did. It's going to be kind of junk Yankee because I'm walking and holding the camera, so excuse my jitters, but nonetheless, this is what it's going to look like when it's finished. Now, to give you an idea, this is the kettle lid, my normal kettle lid. There's the handle for the normal kettle. There's the daisy wheel handle, and here's the front of the Webcraft Ring. And notice it's got a door on the front of it, which is really, really cool, which is just like the Huntsman, their big fancy grill has. Their really nice, well-built one has a handle door like that. Allows you to add more wood or more charcoal or move meat around, whatever you're going to do wherever you're cooking in the thing. Now the lid is actually attached by these clamps right here that are provided, of course. And what happens is there's a gasket right here, and this is attached to the ring as well. So when I do that right there and lift the lid up, the whole lid raises. I'll show you inside in a minute, but there's the lid. Now just pull this lid down, push it down like that, and that clasps right there. Now on the back, the way it's attached with that clamp and that clamp to hold the ring onto the kettle. This hinge is all part of what comes with the ring. Nothing to attach there, no assembly required with that. So the whole thing is just this ring attaching to the bottom of your kettle, and this ring, which is attached to this ring, is what holds your lid on. So that's what that clamp is right there. There's the door at the front. Let's look inside of it. I'll just pop this lever right here, lift it up. That hinge right there holds it. Now look down into the kettle. Gives you a much deeper kettle. Now let me grab some grates and I'll put them in here. I'll put this back on the tripod and I'll show you the grates, how they fit in here. All right, folks, got to make a correction from earlier. I showed you the clamps on the front here at these 2 points, but it turns out that is where the clamps go for the handle, which makes plenty of sense. I couldn't understand why they didn't give us a handle to lift that thing up with, which they did. I even showed it to you when I unboxed the device, but just didn't think about it. Anyway, there's the handle. It serves as clamps also to hold the lid on, but that gives you a handle to lift it up with, which is really, really nice. Also, there's a spot back here for a thermometer to go in from the venom. It's a good little hole for it. It goes right in there and it stays attached to your venom for this grill until you change it out. It's really handy, but that puts it right there in the lid of the kettle so you can be able to track your temperature on the venom and it can know what to do as far as adding more air. We'll make that correction, let you guys know. All right, so as far as grates go, you got your normal grate down here at the very bottom, just your charcoal grate way down at the bottom. Now you have the grate they gave you with the Webcraft, with this device. Now you've got another grate to cook on. You can cook right now if you wanted to, with this extra space up here for more smoke, whatever you want to have. Or you can add yet another grate. Sorry for the dirty grate here, guys. I didn't realize I was doing this today as far as getting the shoot of this thing. It slides right in. Now you've got 2 levels. So you can put your charcoal on the very, very bottom and smoke something on the next grate, the one they gave you, and then someone will smoke something on this grate on the top here. Close your lid down, and you are good to go. Open your vent, and you're ready to go. So you've got 2 levels of smoking or grilling, whatever you want to do. You want to do wings, you've got 2 levels of wings you can do. However you want to do it, you've got all kinds of space in there, which is really, really pretty cool. I like that. Lift the lid up. I wish it opened a little more. Again, not a big deal, but I wish it opened a little more, but I guess I probably can't do that because of the hinge. So nonetheless, guys, you've got a fantastic option right here with the Webcraft. Let's go ahead and get some charcoal going and get our chuck roast on. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll let you see what I decide when I go to do it. All right, folks, our charcoal's now ready, so I want to pour it in to the back corner over there. I'm using the smoke and sizzle for this cook. Get that down in there, get the charcoal kind of mixed over there to it. Add some wood chunks. This is oak. I'm using post oak wood for these, which is my typical thing for any kind of beef meat is going to be oak. All right, guys, so we're going to smoke this about 250, 275. And we'll get the grate on now. Let's see, we'll get this grate on here. And I want to go up high here. I want to see how this does up high. Now, we're so far away from that heat, I can put both roasts over here. What I like about this is that it's so much higher from the fire that the smoke's going to be pulled over this way. We have our vent on this side, the fire on this side. So it's going to pull that smoke up and underneath, hopefully, the meat as well, without getting too much heat, just actual smoke to hit the whole thing. So the whole thing gets covered in smoke as it goes out the exhaust. So we'll put the lid down now. get our venom going, set it for 270 or 250, I think at first, and we'll get it going. Now I'll bring you guys back here in just a minute when I go put the chuck roast onto the kettle. All right, folks, we are now at 250 degrees. We're gonna put the roasts on. And lift that lid up. Good smoke volume there. Go ahead and get that closed down. Now we're smoking, got our lid about a quarter way open, or excuse me, slightly open according to what the venom told us to do. And again, guys, if you're not familiar with the venom, make sure you go watch this video on how that venom works. It's a fantastic device. You can use it on your regular kettle. You can use it with this Webcraft when you put the Webcraft onto your kettle, however you want to do it, but it's definitely a fantastic device. So go watch that video in the upper hand corner of your screen, learn how it works, and that's what we're using today. So we'll let these go for probably quite 5 hours. What we're gonna do, guys, when they get to about 150, 155 degrees, we'll pull them off, wrap them in foil, get them to the stall, put them back on, probably take another hour or so. So about 4 hours from now, I expect them to be 150 range. We'll put some beef broth in there with it, wrap them in foil real tight, put them back on for another hour, and it should be done. We're going to about 203, 200, somewhere in that range to probe tender, but that'll be about where it is, 200, 203. All right, folks, we've been going about 2.5 hours now, and our temperature on the venom shows that we're about 155, 160 degrees on each one of the two roasts. I'm gonna use my thermal pin and double check, but I think we're pretty much in the stall. So what I'm gonna do now is pull them off and put them into foil after I double check my temperatures. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Oh wow, they look really, really good. Look at that. Good color on there. My goodness, they look pretty. Let's check the grass-fed first. Shows 158, 159, 160, and the grain-fed shows 153, which I pretty well figured that'd be the case. There's a lot less fat in the grass-fed, so it's going to cook a little faster, a lot more lean. But I'm going to get them both off, put them in foil, and get them wrapped up. All right, so here we go, guys. We're going to get them off. And now we're going to put some beef broth on each of these and double wrap them. Just a little bit of beef broth here. About good right there. And as always, I like to make sure I wrap with my seams up so that prevents from spillage later on. Bring that up, wrap it really, really good and tight. All right, guys, so while I'm doing this, let me tell you too about the difference between grass-fed and grain-fed. Obviously, there's grass-fed means they're fed nothing but grass, but then there's grass finished as well, which means they are from start to finish, from birth to slaughter, fed nothing but grass. And that's what this one was. This chuck roast we just wrapped up was a grass-fed, completely grass-fed chuck roast. Let me put it back on and get the other one out. All right, so here's our grain-fed chuck roast. Now the difference between grass-fed and grain-fed is really just a couple of months. What I mean by that is this beef was most likely grass-fed until its last 2 or 3 months of life. There's no set time you have to, the USDA doesn't make you have a certain amount of time you grain feed something to call it grain fed. However, you're gonna want 2 or 3 months, 60 to 120 days, in order for that beef to get its flavoring, get its coloring, get the amount of fat you want in there to be considered grain fed and taste like grain fed. What you buy at the grocery store is typically grass fed, grain finished. So it's grass fed for a certain amount of time because it's much cheaper to do that, and then grain-fed for the last 60 to 120 days of its life, giving it that flavor and that taste and that color, the fat content, that kind of thing you've come to expect from your grocery store. That's the only difference. There's no set amount of time a cow has to be on grain to be considered grain-fed. But if they only do it for a week, and you go to the grocery store and buy some beef that only had a week's worth of grain feeding, you're gonna tell the difference and not go back and buy it again. So they're gonna wait 60 to 120 days of good grain feed to get that flavor and that color you want. Now, some folks like the grass-fed better. Obviously, there's some nutritional benefits. There's something called conjugated alleolinic acid and more omega-3s, which helps with your cholesterol. It's also got more vitamin A, vitamin E, I think I have vitamin K. But the nutritional benefit of it is kind of debatable, only because you have to eat so much of that beef to have the benefit from those different nutrients that are in grass-fed compared to grain-fed. It's very negligible, but it's up to you, whatever flavor you like better. We're gonna find out what flavor our participants like here in a couple hours, and we'll let you know. I wanna get this one wrapped up too with some beef broth, and then we'll get it back on the smoker as well, so we'll get these finished. Okay. There we are, folks. We'll put it back on the smoker too, and I'll bring you back when they were 100% done and we're ready to give them a try. See you guys in a bit. All right, y'all, the chuck roast finished and they're in the warming cabinet now. They both got to 203. Now, the grass-fed did finish a little earlier than the grain-fed by about 20 minutes, which is a little closer than I thought. But they both got to 203, both felt super tender. Put them in the warming cabinet, and that's where they are now. Now, our participants will be here shortly to give them a try and give us an idea of what they think of the grain-fed versus grass-fed. They won't have any idea which is which. I'll explain that to you when we get to that point. But I really quickly wanted to tell you a little bit about the Spider Grill's Webcraft package. Because of my affiliate with Spider Grills, you get a really, really good deal right now, guys, on this Webcraft. You go to the link in my description, which is the Grumpy's landing page that you're gonna see, and you click on the Webcraft Elite. In that package, you're gonna get the Webcraft itself, the Venom, which is an incredible piece of equipment, side shelves as well, the side shelves, which is a $179 item, and the cart, the new kettle cart they have that you put your Weber Kettle onto. All that for a price of $549. Incredible deal, because let me tell you, the non-affiliate bundle, if you just go to the bundle on the regular page, only includes the Webcraft, the Weber cart, and the Venom, but that's for $617 and no side shelves. So by all means, be sure to click on Grumpy's landing page and the link to down below and use that for this here. Now, obviously, by all means, if there's other things you want to get from Spider Grills, click on Grills and Accessories at the top of the page. Use my discount code of Grumpy where you can. I'm not sure we're kind of in a transition here of changing from discounts to landing pages. So by all means, check them out and make sure you get the best deal you can. But I know that deal that I just told you about, which is an incredible deal because it includes side shelves and it's still 70 bucks cheaper than the regular bundle package. So by all means, check that one out, guys. All right, guys, we've got our chuck roasts out. We'll open each one of them up, see which one's which. I'm not sure which is which. Hopefully I can tell. I'm sure I can tell once I get them open. Wow, look, gosh, it smells good. I'll tell you that. This is the grain fed. It did shrink quite a bit. I don't want to get rid of that juice. I want to save that juice best I can. There's our grain fed. Now let's see, this should be the grass fed. Let's double check and see how close, see if I'm right or not. Yes, this is definitely the grass fed. But boy, they look very similar. Man, oh man, they look similar. I don't want to lose that juice either. Let me cut right there. Put this juice over here. So this is our grass fed. Let me get you up close look at that. I think it looks really, really good. Very dark color, good bark on it. See that color right there? Man, it looks really, really good. But it's, I mean, it drew up some. And here's our grain fed. And it drew up quite a bit. You can tell it's definitely drew up quite a bit because of the fact that how big it was when it started in that packaging. So, but also very good looking. Let's get them cut open. Now here's what I want to do for our judges. I want to slice these up and put a bite on two different plates. My fingers off here. Plate A is going to be grass fed and plate B will be grain fed. I'll give them each a bite. I'll ask them a couple questions and we'll let them see what they think of the bites that they take and they'll give us our answer. We got my daughter, who's Lauren, and my son-in-law, Caleb. They're gonna do this for me. They have no clue, really. Then Lauren, I know, is not real vastly knowledgeable about grass-fed beef. We're definitely grain-fed family. So we'll see how she thinks of this. And then Caleb, I'm not sure, my son-in-law, I'm not sure. I don't think he's very experienced with grass-fed either. So, which is good. I don't want somebody who really knows the difference. So we'll get these cut up, get a bite for them, and we cut them up and let you see the insides and all that. Then we'll cut them some slices and go from there. But here, let's go ahead and slice this open right across the middle of this grain-fed. Well, that's tender. Man, that's tender. Oh yeah, hope you can see. I'll show you up close to the close camera too, but man, look at that smoke ring. This is that Webcraft, guys. It did a really good job adding some serious smoke to these chuck roasts. Very pleased with that looks. My gosh, that's fantastic looking. Now let's cut open the grass fed. Also very tender. Oh yeah. Also has a very good smoke ring. Very pleased with the smoke ring on this piece too. The meat doesn't look much different than the grain fed. So it's really gonna come down to taste. Let me get some pieces cut here, put them on their plates and have them come out. They have no idea what they're doing yet. B is going to be grain fed. And A will be grass fed. I have no idea why I did it that way. I just chose A and B. A's grass fed and grass fed. Those are some really huge bites. If they both take the whole bite, we'll be a minute. So let me get them on the table and let me get them out here. Be right back. All right, folks, here we are. We've got Lauren, my daughter, and Caleb, my son-in-law. Y'all say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Now they are going to try our chuck roast. Now they are neither one very well versed on grass-fed versus grain-fed. Is that a true statement?
Very.
True. Okay, Lauren was raised on grain. I don't know about Caleb, but I'm guessing same thing for Caleb. So I want you guys to go ahead and take a bite of each one. Let me tell you first what you're going to do and tell us what you think of each one of them as you take a bite. Like the flavor, like the tenderness, texture, whatever you think, smoky or whatever, how you would describe it. But let's try A first. Now on the screen, the folks are going to know which one's which.
Okay.
You don't have a clue, but I'm going to put on the screen which one's which for the folks at home. So go ahead and try the one on your left, which is A.
Very good.
You taste smoke in it at all?
Yep.
Good smoke?
I do.
Yep.
Mhm. Very good.
Okay.
Very juicy.
Juicy, okay. How about the flavor? Do you like the flavor?
I do like the flavor.
I do.
Did
I
you
could eat
use
that.
rubs on this? Is
Yeah,
this-
I use salt, pepper, garlic based rub, just a real basic one. And what I use on steak and that kind of thing. You guys know.
Get a bite of the fat.
It tastes very good.
Okay, you do like that. Okay, great. Okay, but that's one of them. Now, if you wipe your hands off and wipe your mouth off a little bit, you can take a taste of B.
All right.
And tell me what you think of that one, then we'll decide which one you like better.
Okay. Very similar.
Okay.
I think I can tell a difference. Different rub?
Nope.
Same rub.
Exact same rub. Everything's identical. Same temperature, the whole 9 yards. Same doneness and all that. So. Kevin's going back for another bite on egg, see what he thinks of that. Okay, fair enough. Do you tell a definite difference in taste, or not much at all?
Not really.
Really? Okay.
No, I can't.
I'm telling myself I can.
Okay. Well, let's see if you.
What do you think?
If you want to guess, go ahead, bud.
A is grain fed.
Nope. A's grass fed.
Really?
B is grain fed.
That's impressive.
Really?
Yep. A's grain is grass fed. B is grain fed. Absolutely.
There wasn't
only
as much
grass-fed-
fat on this piece,
That's-
so I kind of thought,
That is the grain. That's the
But,
fact. The
okay.
grass. That's the grass fed
Okay.
factor. There'll be less fat
really?
and less thick. Yep. So I'm
That's
glad-
impressive because the only grass-fed steak I've ever had was terrible.
So you've had it once before, but you didn't like it. Okay, fair enough.
Very early on in our marriage,
Yeah.
grass-fed was
Yeah.
cheaper,
Sure.
so we tried.
So it may be cheaper then because that must have been on sale because usually grass fed is more expensive. So
really?
yeah, how much so? Because it's just more processing costs. So from start to finish with.
Well, they're both excellent,
Yeah.
but I'm very surprised that that's the grain fed is
Yep.
B.
Yep. B is grain fed. A, your
Really?
first one you tried was grass fed. Absolutely. So.
Well, I'm shocked because I really can't tell a difference
Well,
between the
good.
two.
That's good. That's very nice to know. So I really expected the whole different. I thought you guys would just hate the grass fed.
No, I can't tell.
That's awesome. Well, cool.
Yeah.
No.
Well, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you doing this. I'll excuse you guys for dinner. I'll bring it in and we'll have dinner in just a minute.
Thank you.
Thanks,
See ya.
guys. Well, folks, there you have it. My son-in-law and daughter both tried it. They both couldn't tell much difference between the two at all. I'm really shocked by that. I thought for sure they would taste the grass-fed and say, no, thank you. Hey, man, they liked it both. That's really, really cool. They were not, I promise you, they were not guided any different way to know which was which. They had no clue. I knew their lack of knowledge on grass-fed would be helpful in this to give a real honest answer. So, but I think it's great. I love the fact they didn't know, and I love the fact they said grass-fed tasted just the same. Now, I want to try some when I go inside, but you get my reaction all the time. I want somebody else's reaction. So they liked it, and they liked the grass-fed just as well as the grain-fed. Nonetheless, guys, I hope you got some value out of this. Hope you liked the video. Please hit the like button. Also, please hit the subscribe button. We really appreciate it if you do that. Until next time, I'll meet you at the smoker.